Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. How you doing? How you doing? I hope you're doing great wherever you are, and I'm excited to share with you this video. It has been a while since I posted a regular post on a regular video on the video channel of this channel, but I hope you're enjoying the shorts. I've been uploading some short videos, and if you are enjoying it, don't forget to like, share, and comment. And I also want to welcome a few new subscribers. I do see y'all. I recognize y'all. You know who you are. Big up to you. All right. Big up, big up, big up. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. And before I share some of the strategies that helped me to write my book, just want to let you know that I am an author, and the name of the book is called The Happy Black Daughter. And I really believe it's important for all of us to share a story or two, whether it's a personal story or any kind of stories that may inspire others and just transform how we view the world or how we think of ourselves. It's important to talk and tell and share, show and tell, rather. That's what I want to say. And in my case, I was able to publish my very first book called The Happy Black Daughter, dedicated to my father, who I loved so much, and sharing his story and how he was important in my life and in others. That's the cover of my book, if you're taking a look at that, next to Mother with Maya Angelou. And that it was when I received my book on that first day. I was crying, I was emotional, I was excited. I couldn't believe I'm a published author. I had all the emotions, and I mean, I still get excited thinking about it, like, wow, this is amazing. But what's more amazing is what the process I had to take into embarking on this journey. And I wanted to share with you that you can do that too. One of the first strategies that helped me to write this book is that I knew what exactly it is I wanted to write about. And for you, if you think about writing a book, you have to know exactly what it is you want to write about. I sat down, I thought about what it is I want to do, and what inspired me was the recent passing of my dad at the time, 5 years ago. And my dad passed away in 2014, and it was 5 years ago I decided to write the book because he really impacted my life in a great way. And I sat down and I said, okay, this book is going to be about the relationship between father and daughters, but most importantly, also how important it is for fathers to play an important role in their children's, in children's life. So for me, I had to think about, okay, this is what it's going to be about. Anyone can say they want to write a book, but you have to think about your topic. You have to think about the message within the book. What will be your theme? My theme were fathers, daughters, family, and love and unity. And that was important for me. And I wanted everyone who picked up that book to feel loved, to feel honored. And I decided to honor my dad through stories that I wrote in the book about him. And hopefully the readers could resonate with those stories as well. So think about, if you're going to write a book, definitely think about what it is you want to impact. Who do you want to write this book for, right? Who's your target audience? Or is your audience for men, women, children, family, sisterhood? Just think about that. Make some bullet notes. Get your notepad. I'm old school, so I had my pen, I had my notebook, and definitely wrote down those ideas. So I implore you to really think about, who is this book for? My dad was a man who was full of strength, and he was a nurturer and also a wise man. He imparted his wisdom to his children, and I wanted to incorporate some of those wisdom and lessons learned from him in the book. And it was definitely impactful. The second thing to think about when you decide to write a book is to establish a power routine. What does that mean? So for me, my routine and my writing routine started in the evenings, like around maybe 8 o'clock at night. And sometimes I would even get up 3 o'clock in the morning. Early in the morning, it was not a good time for me. In the evenings, for me, it's quiet. I'm able to have a clear mind. That didn't mean I didn't write in the mornings. Sometimes I did it, but it was maybe just short. It wasn't in depth as it would be in the evening. So the night was definitely where I felt my writing was much better. So those were the hours. So definitely think about what's going to be your routine. Are you going to dedicate like 4 hours a day, or is it going to be 6 hours for the week to write and to really focus on your writing? Because when you're writing, yes, you're writing for you. You're really writing for you, for others. You're writing for yourself, but you really got to think about how would the reader feel about this. So definitely think about what time of day you want to write. Is it going to be spontaneous? How are you going to focus on your writing? Establish that. Are you going to have a cup of tea with you? Or are you going to have a cup of coffee with you? Is it going to be at the library? There were times when I wrote in the library, okay, and there were times when I was just home, um, in the evening. So think about what is good for you, what makes sense for you, because everyone's different. Everyone's writing routine is different. Some people could write maybe just a paragraph for the day and then they're done. Or you could be working somewhere or doing something and then all of a sudden you get an inspiration. All right. So everyone is different. As long as you establish, though, a focal routine where you say, okay, today is the day. Wednesday's going to be the day that I'm going to write something. Okay. I think that's important, especially if you have a timeline. Working with a timeline is important because you don't want to continue to, what do you call it? Procrastinate. Yeah, so you definitely don't want to procrastinate, because procrastination will definitely be the death of you. That's delaying, that's putting off something. And when you're putting it off and you keep putting it off, it's just never going to get done. And you're just writing for the fun of it. And that means you're just basically doing it for the fun of it. And oftentimes it just lingers, sometimes for years. You said you're committed to something, but not really. So definitely think about your establishing a power routine. The power routine is the routine where this is the commitment, this is the dedication, right? No one, nothing is going to deter you from taking up that space and that time, whether you dedicate 2 hours, 3 or 6, like I said before, for you to commit to your writing. That's your power routine. So establish a day where this is where I am going to focus. And yes, you have other days where maybe inspiration will come and you want to jot down something, you have an idea, you write something. But the power routine, that is the day where you commit longer than 2 minutes, longer than an hour, maybe an hour. For me, my power routine lasted sometimes 3 hours, because did the research. It was researching, it was then writing, and it was organizing my thoughts. So that worked for me. And again, this is what worked for me, all right? I'm not saying this is what you must do or have to do. This is just, I'm just throwing out what I feel, could be helpful for you if you ever think about writing a book or writing a journal. Writing something that's significant and that you've always thought about doing, right? You always thought about writing. So I enjoy that process. All right, for sure. I definitely enjoy establishing that routine. It's fun. Sometimes I'll have my I'll cuddle up on a blanket, or and I'll have my cup of tea, like I said, or coffee. I'm a tea drinker mostly, but I do enjoy a cup of coffee every now and then. So I really do hope this is helpful. And I'm really focusing a lot on establishing a power routine because that is the sauce. All right. That's very, very key. Procrastination will get you nowhere. All right. And I've actually had that experience in the beginning of my writing journey where I started, and after 3 months, I just stopped writing. I was just like, I'm done. I'm not going to even, I can't do this. And I lingered because of the negative thoughts. Oh, this is not going to work out, or I don't know if I have it in me. But I want you to know that if you're dedicated to something, if you really, really, really want to create something, well, it could be a product, it could be anything. Think about how will it impact others? Because at the end of the day, you want to make an impact, not just for yourself, but for others, all right? And for me, writing was what did it. And the Happy Black Daughter book is, I'm so proud of it. So proud of it. So I hope you do take that time when you're thinking about creating something, whether it be a book or anything. You create and establish that routine. You focus, you block out the noise, okay? The third strategy that helped me was free writing. Now, free writing, what is free writing? I mentioned it earlier, I think. Free writing is basically the process. It's fun. This process is fun because all I did was I'll write down whatever came to mind about my message or about my theme. So I'll either, maybe I'm driving, something comes in my head spontaneously, I'll pull over and I'll write something in my phone, in my notes, or just write anything that came to mind, right? Anything that inspires me. You just write about it. When you think about your content that you want to put in the book and it just hits you, just jot it down. All right. That is what free writing is about. It's similar to journaling. So I simply just wrote down my thoughts, my ideas. I'm not thinking about editing. All right. I'm not even thinking about grammar at the time. All right. I'm not worried about organizing the content. I just simply writing anything at all that comes to mind. And I would definitely implore for you to also do that because it could be definitely inspiring. You could be at the park sitting down, you could be at the supermarket and you see something and you're like, oh, and a thought comes, start free writing. Or you could spend a day, 30 minutes or so, just writing out exactly what you're thinking and not worrying about how well the paragraphs are together. You don't have to worry about that. You're just writing anything that comes to mind. All right. Some people enjoy this process because it gives you the ability to just not think about or be too serious about the editing process because it's not editing. Although for some writers like myself, sometimes when I am writing, I do tend to edit while I'm writing. And that could be another delay process. Editing usually comes when you're done with the writing process. So do not think about editing when you're free writing. Do not think about organization when you're free writing. This part here, the free writing, is just writing out all your thoughts. Simply put your thoughts down, any ideas that you have, and eventually, once that's done, then you move on to the editing and organizing. All right. So designate maybe like 30 minutes or so to free writing. All right. And whenever you do this process, it's going to be fun and fulfilling. All right. So hopefully, if you are intended to write a book, this is definitely something to consider, the free writing. Okay. And it's enjoyable for sure. So yes, definitely. Also, guys, remember that every writer works differently. All right. So you may not have to incorporate all four strategies. The free writing is definitely a strategy I use. But everyone's different, all right? So don't think that you have to do it this way, all right? The free writing is just something that was helpful for me. I didn't have to worry about, like I mentioned, the spelling and punctuation and grammar, and it benefited me because it actually reduces my stress level. So definitely don't worry about it. Anyway, always the fourth one is fourth strategy. Always remember why you want to write a book, all right? Because there's going to be a time in the process where something happens along the way of your writing journey. And for me, it was I stopped writing for 3 months, as I mentioned. I stopped writing because I started having doubts about what I wanted to write about, or what was I really doing, if this was really what I wanted to do. I just started to question my ability as a writer. And as a first time writer, I've learned now that that is normal. That's a normal thing, actually, stopping. And it's okay if you do, all right? Just don't let it linger too long, all right? So, what I did was I had to revisit my why. Why do I really want to write this book? Once I revisited the reason why I wanted to share my message, I got motivated again to get back at it. What I did was surrounded myself with amazing people doing the great things in the world. And I actually hired a coach that would encourage me and push me. These are the four strategies that helped me, and it worked. All right. So definitely never forget why you want to write a book. This has to be something that is amazing, that's impactful. Writing a book is a big deal. And if you're ever get the opportunity to write and publish a book, you're a badass. All right. Because this is something no one can take away from you. You have this written down, you have this registered, you could always reference it, and you can become the author, all right, of you're the author of your life in general, but now you're the true author. All right, you're a published author. So definitely the one of the very most important strategy for me is this one, the number 4. Always remember why you want to write a book, because once you're on that journey, there's going to be a moment where you're going to stop. All right. And that's that negative thought saying, oh, maybe I'm not going to do this. I can't do this. People are not going to read my book, or, this is just senseless. I don't think I'm ready for this. It's just all negative thought. It's all fear, and maybe even a good fear. Allow it to push you. All right. Allow it to motivate you. This was my experience, that those 3 months when I stopped writing, I was just like, I thought this is not going to be helpful. No one is going to think about, read about this positive relationship I had with my father, and how important it is for fathers to play a major role in their children's, life. So I definitely encourage each and every one of you to always go for it and don't stop. And don't forget to visit AllisonBraham.com. I appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoy this video. And I appreciate you all. Bye.